Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 1, Channel 2.
Coming up on Star City News.
The boys' high school basketball playoffs are underway in Lincoln. We'll tell you why it's a big score for the city's economy.
The Nebraska Health Department has a new warning for thousands of the state's spring break travelers.
I knew that I wasn't the only person who had experienced something like this.
And a local sexual assault survivor weighs in on the surge in America's celebrity sex assault revelations.
These stories and more right now on Star City News.
Live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications, Star City News starts now.
Hello and welcome to Star City News. I'm Danny Burke.
And I'm Katrina Spurl. Lincoln is drawing thousands of people in this weekend as the Nebraska High School boys basketball tournament begins. And along with it comes a lot of revenue for the city. Star City's Parker Siza has more.
Thanks, guys. It is that time of year again in Lincoln. When you walk around downtown Lincoln, you see license plate numbers from what seems like every county in the state of Nebraska. It is state basketball, and fans come from across the state here to watch the events, and it certainly does well for downtown Lincoln as well as the city itself. Thousands of fans from across the state flood into Lincoln. It's state basketball 2018.
Yeah, it's a big deal for downtown Lincoln. It brings a lot of people from a lot of different towns around the state.
State basketball does well for the Lincoln economy, too. It's money from people staying in hotels, visiting gas stations, or dining in restaurants.
There's been a huge impact from having something like this for people that want to capture the audiences that are coming to events like state basketball.
In Lincoln's Haymarket District, the center of basketball craziness, businesses are set for action. Longwells is a popular location across the street from PBA. Its business strives during state basketball.
We are directly affected by Pinnacle Bank Arena's events, whether it's a concert, if it's state basketball. Everybody comes to Lincoln from out of town. I would say it's more of like the hometown feel.
And then, of course, the fans. They come from across Nebraska to experience the action.
The students and everything, they're just so loud and it's so fun to come to.
Everyone's here to support their team. They're really loud, you know, they're really loving it. Just a great atmosphere.
And Deputy Director of the Downtown Lincoln Association, Todd Ogden, told me that 64 new Lincoln restaurants opened since Pinnacle Bank broke ground in 2010. Certainly, that has a lot to do with the state basketball crowds. For Star City News, I'm Parker Siza. Back to you, Katrina and Danny.
Thanks, Parker. Well, it's great to see that the city is benefiting as well as those teams having a great time there in downtown Lincoln. Well, former Nebraska Governor Charlie Thone died Wednesday at the age of 94. Thone grew up on a farm near Hardington, graduated from the University of Nebraska, and worked his way up the Republican ladder to win a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives in 1970. After 4 terms in the House, where he represented Nebraska's 1st District and his hometown of Lincoln, Thone was elected as Nebraska's 34th governor in 1978. Services for Thone will be held next Tuesday at 3 p.m. at the Cornhusker Marriott.
A popular Lincoln bar is in danger of losing its liquor license. Reports say Barry's Bar and Grill in the Haymarket overserved 2 customers on September 23rd of last year during a Nebraska football game. The 2 men were extremely drunk when officers arrived at the bar. It is possible the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission could cancel Barry's license if found guilty. A hearing took place Wednesday with the 3 liquor commissioners, and they said they needed more time to discuss whether the bar should lose its license. Barry's is also under thin ice after selling alcohol to a minor last April.
Well, with spring break just around the corner, the Department of Health and Human Services is reminding travelers to take precautions when visiting certain areas. Star City's Abby Peterson is live in the newsroom with more.
Danny, that's right. Spring break travelers are going to want to take safety precautions. Diseases may be present and there are ways to avoid them. State officials are urging spring break travelers to take precautions if they're going to areas or countries where disease is spread by mosquitoes.
People who get these diseases can have very serious health outcomes. and they can be devastating in some circumstances.
More than 80 countries and territories have detected Zika, including popular spring break destinations like Mexico and islands in the Caribbean. In the United States, Zika was previously reported in Florida and Texas. One spring breaker I spoke to is traveling to Riobamba, Ecuador for a MedLife trip.
So I've been taking typhoid pills for a week, which is just another thing that they have to deal with that we don't. Yellow fever. I also had to re-up my tetanus shot and then meningitis shot.
Officials suggest using bug spray, staying in air-conditioned areas, and making sure windows are closed.
Consider you wearing longer clothing, shirts with sleeves on it, pants with legs.
Common symptoms of Zika include fever and headache or skin rash. If you think you may have contracted something during travel, you should contact your healthcare provider. Reporting for Star City News, I'm Abby Peterson.
Thank you for the report, Abby. Just 2 days ago, the weather for us didn't seem too promising, but that might be changing a little bit heading into the weekend. We have Dylan Steinkruger here to give us a sneak peek.
Yeah, so a couple days ago it was pretty miserable here across basically the entire southeastern portion of the state. It was windy, cold. We rebounded a little bit. Temperatures aren't too great outside right now, but mid-40s are certainly better than what we were seeing. I'll have a little bit more coming up in just a bit if we're going to rebound back into those weekend time temperatures that we were seeing this past weekend, where temperatures were in the 60s, or if we're going to have to dig out a snow shovel or something like that again. So I'll have more coming up in just a bit.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be avoiding those snow shovels. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, Dylan. And coming up after the break on Star City News, we'll have the latest on gun control legislation in Florida after last month's deadly school shooting.
And we'll get reaction from a local sexual assault survivor to the growing number of high-profile sex assault cases in the national news media. You're watching Star City News.
Get your ice cream fix today from the UNL Dairy Store. The UNL Dairy Store features a great variety of flavors and options and has offered their delicious treats with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln since 1917. The store also features special happy hour prices Monday through Friday. Stop in at the UNL Dairy Store today and enjoy some delicious handmade ice cream. You owe it to yourself.
Ever have trouble traversing the busy streets and sidewalks of Lincoln? The University of Nebraska contracts with StarTrain to prevent those transportation headaches. The East, City, and Innovation campuses are all connected through routes that run Monday through Friday during the fall and spring semesters. While low prices are available for all passengers, students, faculty, and staff receive additional deals. All students actually receive an annual bus pass through their student fees. Cut traffic out of your day and experience these convenient services.
The Cat House is a local no-kill cat shelter and adoption center where volunteers pledge to care for and provide a loving home to hundreds of cats every day. The cats are housed in spacious rooms where visitors can interact and play with the cats. Donating to the Cat House provides medical care and helps find these cats a forever home. Located on the corner of 37th and O Street, visit the Cat House today to donate or adopt.
Searching for a college can be challenging. There's so many things to look for. Dorms, campus involvement, classes, and facilities all play a factor. So why not take a campus visit? At UNL, you can sign up for a campus visit Monday through Friday in the morning or the afternoon. All visits include a welcome session, walking campus tour, and an academic appointment with a specific major. We aim to provide the ultimate student experience with every visit, so sign up for your campus visit today.
We'll see you soon!
Visit admissions.unl.edu for information on how to sign up.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Katrina Spurl. Last night, the Florida State House passed a school safety bill. The bill is headed to Governor Rick Scott, who has expressed reservations about a provision that would allow some teachers to carry weapons in schools. Some survivors have also spoken out against the idea of arming teachers as a way to keep schools safe. The governor says he'll talk to parents before making a decision on the bill. Here's what the father of the shooting victim said today.
We thank the House and Senate for voting in favor of protecting our children. But more needs to be done, and it's important for the country to unite. In the same way, the 17 families united in support of this bill.
The bill also raises the age for purchasing guns,
How can I move forward when the shattered pieces of me are too small to even grasp,
and
let
gives
alone
law
pick up?
enforcement the authority to seize weapons from people deemed mentally unfit.
Hundreds of people, most of them women, have come forward over the past several months with allegations of sexual assault in Hollywood and on college campuses such as Michigan State University. The definition of sexual misconduct can be confusing. Our sister station reporter from NewsNet Nebraska, Cassidy Adolph, provides a definition of sexual misconduct and gets one sexual assault survivor's reaction to the wave of those coming forward publicly.
How can I move forward when the shattered pieces of me are too small to even grasp, let alone pick up? How am I supposed to move forward when nothing will change?
Taylor Brown is 23 years old. She's also a sexual assault survivor.
According to Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, sexual assault is sexual contact or behavior that happens without consent from the victim, and it happens to an American every 98 seconds.
I had decided that, I knew that I wasn't the only person who had experienced something like this. I knew that perhaps even if it only helped one person, that it was worth it to share.
Brown thought on it for a while, but she chose to share her story in a piece she wrote for a literary magazine called Contrast. Brown came forward, but so many other incidents go unreported. 2 out of 3 sexual assaults go unreported. And why is that?
The victim is usually doubted. If you told someone my car was stolen, no one would say, no, it wasn't. You must have loaned it to them. No, it wasn't stolen. But if you say I was sexually assaulted, you have to prove it. The victim is really doubted by a lot of people.
The issue has been brought to the forefront in the news media and on social media over the past 2 months after accusations mount of high-profile men's sexual misconduct. Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, NBC News powerhouse Matt Lauer, and Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey, among a growing list of others, have been accused of sexually assaulting and harassing both women and men and have been fired from their positions.
Just the preponderance of evidence, the more and more people speaking out makes a difference, I think. But it's unfortunate that's true because you need to have a lot of people. Why isn't one person? Why can't you believe one person? So that's frustrating.
Zach Palmer, also of the UNL Women's Center, agrees with Dietz about victims having to out themselves to the public, but he also believes that this is sparking change.
And this is just the beginning. This is not the last movement we're going to see or the last push to denormalize sexual assault and violence.
And Brown stands with victims, and she has a message for others out there.
Your feelings are valid, you are heard, you are understood, you're not over-dramatizing it, and it is just as important to come forward.
For Star City News, I'm Cassidy Adolph.
Thank you, Cassidy. Well, for the second time in less than a week, the northeastern part of the United States has been left with more than 1 million people without power.
That's right, Danny. This is because of Winter Storm Quinn. It has brought up to 3 feet of snow and wind gusts over 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, Katrina, in Massachusetts alone got 19 inches of snow. In New York had around 12 inches. As you take a look there, that power line falling down and exploding. Scary sight right there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's an enormous amount of snow as well on the East Coast. Well, when we come back, we will check in with our weather expert Dylan Steinkruger to talk about weather for the upcoming weekend.
Well, the state tournament for Nebraska boys high school basketball began today in downtown Lincoln. The Nebraska baseball team kicked off a 9-game homestand at Haymarket Park, and Scott Frost tells us what to expect in spring practice. All that and more coming up on Star City Sports.
The Capital Humane Society offers a wide variety of pets, from cats and dogs to rabbits and reptiles. The Capital Humane Society will help you find the right pet. With private rooms, you are allowed to meet and play with the animal of your choice. The Capital Humane Society offers adoption fees that are half the cost of a pet store. Call the Humane Society at 402-441-4488 or visit their website, capitalhumanesociety.org, for more information on pets that are currently available.
For a touch of the outdoors, come on down to the UNL Outdoor Adventure Center and Bike Shop. Come enjoy a climb on our fun indoor rock wall. Visit the bike shop for bike rentals and repairs. On top of that, the Outdoor Adventure Center also offers many other outdoor activities and trips throughout the year, such as camping, hiking, and canoeing. The Outdoor Adventure Center is located on the beautiful UNL campus with friendly and knowledgeable staff who are ready to help. For more information, go to the Outdoor Adventure Center website or call them at 402-472-4777.
Huskers Helping Huskers Pantry Plus is an on-campus pantry at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, offered to students in need. This is a resource for students who struggle with food or shelter insecurity, providing food, hygiene, and school supplies. Located on the 3rd level of the Student Union, all you need to access the pantry is your student in card. Want more information on donations or using the pantry? Please visit our website or come on up and see us.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Visit the Education Abroad office or go online to find out more information. Education Abroad. Go big, go abroad.
The Capital Humane Society offers.
Well, after a blustery start to our week, we've actually rebounded pretty nicely for this latter half. We have warmed up quite a bit. Winds have also died down. So back when we were having gusts on Tuesday of over 50 miles an hour, we're now down to about 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the southeast. Those winds out of the south are bringing in some warm air, and with not having much for cloud cover in the sky, we've actually warmed up into the lower 40s. Certainly not too great. We're actually still below average for this time of year, but certainly a lot worse. It could be a lot worse than what it could be for this time of year. So we are 8 degrees below average. It was really this morning's temperature. If you got outside early this morning, 12 degrees was our low around 3 to 4 a.m. It was frigid, and there were some slick spots across Lincoln. That certainly was contributed to those really cold temperatures. Now, as we do look across the state, though, it is not these cooler temperatures everywhere. Certainly a lot warmer, especially as you head out into the western portion of the state, out into the Panhandle right now. 57 in Alliance, 59 in Scotts Bluff. Obviously a little bit cooler. You see this really strong temperature gradient right now. That's kicking off some cloud cover actually right now down in north central Kansas. But at least for us here in the eastern portion of the state, it's just bringing us some cold temperatures with us being in the 30s. Now, you can see that nor'easter that they were talking about a little bit earlier right here actually out up into the northeastern portion of the country right now along the east coast. Spinning up there, that's dropped a ton of snow. New Jersey had over 2 feet. So quite a significant event going on there. Not quite as exciting back here in Lincoln in the southeastern portion of the state. You can see not much for cloud cover at all. A lot of snow actually up in the Dakotas right now. That's bringing in a lot of cold air, especially when we've had a northern component to our wind like we did back in Tuesday. That cold air above the snow gets brought down into the region and it makes temperatures very frigid. So definitely not dealing with that right now. And as we head into tonight, the cold temperatures do return a little bit, especially because we don't have a lot of cloud cover. So you want actually a little bit of cloud cover as you head into the evening. It'll typically keep your temperatures at the surface a little bit warmer. But without cloud cover, we're going to drip down into the lower 20s as we head into tonight. Winds will remain out of the southeast. Well, it won't be too bad. It could certainly be a lot worse, especially what we saw the past few days, but a little bit of an improvement, but certainly could be a lot better. Now, as we head into the start of our weekend, we're actually going to continue to see a warm up, 51 degrees on Friday, 52 on Saturday. We do get a little bit of cloud cover. Now, what we're going to see as we move into Saturday night is a cold front actually push through. That's going to bring in first some really cold temperatures, but it's also going to give us a little bit of a shot for some precipitation as we head into the morning hours. So certainly keep that in mind if you have any plans early Sunday morning. Roads could definitely be a little bit on the slick side, especially if we do kind of get that wintry mix and some colder temperatures at the surface in association with the cold front. The good news is as we head into the start of our work week next week, we're actually going to rebound pretty nicely. Temperatures should be able to sneak back up into the lower 50s probably by the middle of the work week next week. We're going to continue to see kind of what we've seen over the past couple days and the past couple weeks, kind of this continued trend of up and down temperatures that we've been seeing over the past couple days. So hopefully we can continue to increase our temperatures over the next few days. Going to see a little bit of a cool down, but so don't put away that snow shovel quite yet. We're not quite done with winter.
Well, I'm glad that the East Coast and like New York got that winter storm and not us.
Yeah, I mean, we had the snow the other day, and then we had 60s the weekend before. I mean, what do you expect to see coming up in the coming weeks? I mean, are we going to get snow any more chance, or like you said, Shovels, maybe not.
Yeah, I like I said, I wouldn't put your shovel away. It's just this early springtime weather that we get here in Nebraska. It's just it's a roller coaster ride is the best way to put it. So.
Okay, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed over here. Up next, we'll give you a preview of this weekend's Nebraska High School Boys Basketball Tournament.
Plus, a look at opening day in Haymarket Park for the Huskers baseball team. That and more coming up next.
People are tired of listening to the same old sports shows. We'll be tired no longer and tune into the Second String on KRNU2. Join hosts Alex Fernando.
Listen, the Big Ten will not have a team in the playoffs.
And Nate Muehlbach.
Don't know why we're discussing this. The Warriors are the best basketball team of all time.
As we bring you all the info and news from around the sporting world. So tune into the Second String, Mondays at 7, only on KRNU2. For over 28 years, the Lincoln Children's Museum has been creating playtime for thousands of kids and their families. Children can create, discover, and learn through the power of play. The Lincoln Children's Museum also offers several programs and camps throughout the year, located in the heart of downtown on P Street. Come have fun at the Lincoln Children's Museum.
Explore Morrill Hall, located on the UNL campus.
The Nebraska Repertory Theater creates innovative theatrical experiences to ignite the imagination, challenge the heart, promote an inclusive community, and inspire the next generation of theater artists. Shows include the 2004 Tony Award-winning musical Avenue Q, a showcase of future rep actors, directors, and designers. Join us for the first annual Reps Rising Stars. And finally, an adaptation of William Golding's classic novel, The Lord of the Flies. For more information and tickets to upcoming shows, visit www.nebraskarep.org.
Welcome into Star City Sports. I'm Matt Reynoldson. The high school state basketball tournaments bring plenty of fans to Lincoln. And beginning today, a few local teams started their quest to bring home the hardware. Starting off at Devaney Center this morning, Lincoln Christian versus Grand Island Central Catholic in the first round, a 5-seed versus 4-seed matchup. Lincoln Christian's Max McEwen driving in for the nice layup right here to put Christian on top in the first half. But Grand Island Central Catholic would not go away quietly. That three by Peyton Court gave the Crusaders a lead. But a three ball by Caleb Canfield in the second half stretched Lincoln Christian's lead. That was a big one, and Lincoln Christian goes on to win by 11. In our second game of the day, York versus Crete in Class B, a number 1 seed versus a number 8 seed matchup. Clay Uher looking to help Crete to the upset with a nice layup right there. But Brady Danielson has something to say about that. A little floater in the lane to pace York in the first half. Second half action, Crete trying to make a comeback against York. Carter Kent knocks down a big-time three to pace Crete. But Brady Danielson and the York Dukes were just too much. York survives in double overtime, knocking off 8-seeded Crete 69-67. Other scores of note include Class B, number 4 Bennington defeating number 5 Aurora 55-45. In Class C1, number 1 Wahoo knocking off number 8 Ogallala 87-44, and an upset in Class D1 as Lord Central Catholic knocked off number 2 Paxton. With plenty of area teams in action today, one team holds the best regular season record of any Lincoln school in the last 20 years. When tonight's quarterfinal game against Omaha Bryan tips off, the Lincoln East Spartans will be chasing their first state title since 2001.
It's been really fun this year. Well, the past couple of years we didn't quite get where we wanted to in the state, and just with us seniors, pretty exciting to get there this year.
I mean, we've never really sat down and talked about records, never really sat down and talked about really what we already have accomplished, because it's this week in practice has really just kind of seemed like most other weeks in practice.
We're still going about things the same way, still working hard, same focus. Nothing's going to come easy for us, and that we've got to take it one game at a time, and nothing's guaranteed. So
if we lost 4 games or 5 games or 6 games, I don't think that would really change the perception of who these guys are.
Lincoln East tips off its quarterfinal matchup at 7:45 tonight. Well, elsewhere in Lincoln, another opening day, and this one for a spring sport. The Nebraska baseball team opened up a 9-game homestand this afternoon with a matchup against Cal Poly out of San Luis Obispo. It's the home opener for the Big Red after starting off the season with 11 games away from Lincoln. Hovering around the low 40s for first pitch, it wasn't exactly the warmest out there, but the Huskers say they're just glad to play at home in any weather.
Everyone's got to go out there and play in the same weather, so you just got to deal with it and mentally prepare yourself and just forget about it.
Especially with hitting, once you start trying too much, once you're trying to hit a 6-run home run, it's the results usually aren't too good.
It's definitely exciting to just be out in the field the day before the start of the series and just get everything going with the guys.
Well, new Nebraska head coach Scott Frost has had a busy few months as the Huskers' new head man. However, he did make time to go on the Husker Sports Network's Sports Nightly program last night and even take calls from a few fans on the show. Among things discussed, Frost said he's excited for a good quarterback battle in the spring between Tristan Gebbia, Patrick O'Brien, and true freshman Adrian Martinez. The Huskers will have morning practices in the spring and will not be hosting official visits for the spring game. Frost said his staff will also put an emphasis on being completely open to area high school coaches. Now time for your Star City News play of the day comes from Detroit. DeMar DeRozan with the big-time dunk. Less than 10 seconds left to put Toronto ahead. Take one more look at it. The veteran for the Raptors giving them the win.
All right, Matt, can we get an update on Nebraska baseball?
Well, unfortunately, tough sledding for Nebraska baseball right now. Cal Poly just scored 10 straight runs to take a 14-8 lead into the 9th inning. So kind of a rough day for the Huskers in the home opener.
Well, hopefully they can make it up this weekend because they have their big opening weekend coming up. And another Nebraska team that's got a big weekend to potentially look forward to is the Husker basketball team.
Absolutely. And you'll find out if the Huskers are in the tournament within the first 10 minutes of the broadcast. New format for TBS.
All right. Can't wait to find out.
All right. Well, don't go away. When we come back, see what group is making their way toward the city.
The University of Nebraska-Lincoln Sport Clubs offers students the opportunity to compete in sports during their college career. The 33 clubs are run entirely by students and foster growth in life skills through competition ranging from the inter-squad to national level. By joining a sport club, students are sure to create friendships and memories that will last a lifetime. To join a club, visit the sports club website or stop in to the campus rec.
Established in 1978, KZUM has been the voice of the Lincoln community for more than 40 years.
From humble 10-watt beginnings to streaming worldwide, this nonprofit radio station provides talk, news, and music programming of all genres.
KZUM has over 90 volunteer programmers, giving a voice to the Lincoln community.
To learn how you can program your own show, visit kzum.org.
Like us on Facebook to keep up with the upcoming events of many kinds.
Welcome back to Star City News, and also a welcome back to the Shrine Circus, which is back in town. The family favorite had its opening night on Wednesday at the Lancaster Event Center. Full of bears, clowns, and cotton candy, the circus offers other fun activities, including elephant or pony rides and face painting. The 73rd annual appearance will be at the Event Center now until Sunday. Doors open 90 minutes before each show, and tickets can be found at lancastereventcenter.org.
Now, I used to go to the Shrine Circus as a kid, and my favorite act was the acrobats. What about you guys?
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one. I personally like the tightropes a lot because you never know. It's a little scary. But Dylan, how about you?
Yeah, I was a big fan of all the animals, the elephants, just the crazy things that they were able to do with them. It was just insane that they could pull some of that stuff off in that area. It was just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. A great show. Well, that's all the time we have for you today on Star City News. I'm Danny Burke.
And I'm Katrina Spurl. Thanks for watching.